Orange County continues to mourn the loss of a San Clemente teenager who lost his life earlier this week. Coming up, how the UCLA football player's parents are coping with the loss of their son.
And over a decade after the deadly 9/11 terrorist attacks, Orange County residents are celebrating Patriot Day in a unique way. Check out how bikers show how they will never forget. You're watching Chapman News.
Good afternoon. It's Friday. I'm Natasha Martinez.
And I'm Jessica Deutchman. Welcome to Chapman News, the only live newscast in Orange County.
Friends and family of San Clemente native Nicholas Pasquale continue to celebrate his memory. The UCLA football player was struck and killed by a car earlier this week in his hometown. Pasquale was walking home from a friend's house around 1:30 a.m. when he lost his life. Maritza Viella joins us live from San Clemente High School. Maritza?
It's here where Nick Pasquale played football for 4 years before heading to UCLA to fulfill his dreams of playing for the Bruins. He was home last weekend to see his high school team play. Investigators say a Mercedes sedan headed westbound on Camino de los Mares hit the 20-year-old who was in the lanes. The driver stopped and stayed with Pasquale until emergency responders arrived. Pasquale, though, was pronounced dead at the scene. A vigil was held Sunday night here at San Clemente High School, where friends and family gathered to mourn the loss of their loved one. Nick was a son, a brother, a teammate, and a friend to many. Mel Pasquale, father of Nick, spoke on his son's death earlier this week.
He's a very well-liked young man. His backyard's filled with about 100 people right now. And it's a tough, sad day, but Nick's legacy will live on, and I miss him already. And I will continue to miss him.
The Bruins will play their first game after Nick's death tomorrow night against Nebraska. Both teams will wear the number 36 in honor of Nick Pasquale. As for the accident, investigators say it's still under investigation. Reporting from San Clemente, I'm Maritza Viella, Chapman News.
Thank you, Maritza. Now at San Clemente's high school football game last night, there was a moment of silence held for Nicholas.
Huntington Beach Police Department has released the name of a woman who died on Tuesday when a big rig hit her and kept on driving. 77-year-old Tuba Yamtubian was at the corner of Springdale Street and Warner Avenue when she was run over by a large tractor trailer. Witnesses say she had already crossed the street, but may have entered the street again just as the big rig was making a right turn. Investigators spent hours examining her body and scrubbing the blood off the streets.
My mom's always walking around here too. It's insane. Life is here and it's gone, you know. Every day is a blessing, for sure. You never know.
Officers located the big rig driver a short distance away from the scene and questioned him, but he was not arrested. Huntington Beach PD is not releasing his name at this time.
California legislators in both houses have passed a bill that would raise the minimum wage from $8 to $10 an hour. As Annie Ackerman reports, some economists think it may not solve any problems.
When it comes to your paycheck, every penny counts. And politicians in California are in talks about increasing the minimum wage from $8 to $10 an hour.
There's janitors, there's retail workers, there's restaurant workers.
Claire Crawford with the Center on Policy Initiatives says it's time to pay workers at the bottom of the pay scale a little bit more.
Making $8 an hour right now, you're not meeting your basic needs just to stay in your home, just to hopefully get health care.
The price of bread, price of gas, it's just totally out of control and it's ridiculous. And I just feel there's a gap between, there's no middle class anymore.
But raising the minimum wage comes with consequences.
Yes, maybe some people are going to benefit, but it would be at the expense of some others. You know, those other people, I'm not even talking about the small businesses that are going to lose, some profit. I'm talking about those who want to start work at the minimum wage, but businesses are not hiring them because now it seems a little too high.
Not only are politicians discussing raising the minimum wage, but they also want to link future minimum wage increases to the cost of living.
It seems that it would be more fair if it continued to go up with inflation. As costs went up, people's wages would be able to go up to meet their needs.
All economists, they agree that living on minimum wage, whether it's 8, 9, 10, is close to poverty, especially for head of household. And changing it by 50 cents or $1 is not going to really make that much of a difference in the poverty level.
Annie Ackerman, Chapman News.
Jerry Brown says he wants the proposed minimum wage increase to go into effect gradually, starting with $9 an hour on January 1st, plus another dollar added to that in 2016.
The Wet Electric Music Festival in Huntington Beach will go on. An Orange County judge ruled in favor of the event on Wednesday. Chapman News reporter Madison Wade has more.
This Saturday, a crowd up to 10,000 people will rave on at the Wet Electric Music Festival on the beaches in Huntington. Festival organizers say there will be zip lines, a stacked lineup, blow-up rides, and a sandcastle main stage, not to mention alcohol, which is one of the reasons why city officials want to cancel the event.
It's so inappropriate for Huntington Beach. It's not the image we want to project. It's not the kind of event that if it were in the city we would want to try and handle. Large events require a lot of advanced planning and a lot of extra police, extra fire, extra public works, and this isn't the kind of event we would want to take on.
Hardy and other authorities say they do not want a repeat of the riots that occurred early this summer after the U.S. Open that left many businesses destroyed. City officials say they did not know about this event until late August, when they decided to take it to court. But since this event will happen away from Main Street on the sands of the California State Beach, the judge ruled that the city has no jurisdiction over this area. Organizers have agreed to pay the state $90,000 to throw this beach-themed party, but the alcohol permit is still on the table.
I believe that if they have the proper security and have the proper people around to make sure everything goes as planned, the alcohol should be allowed, because honestly, in an event like a Wet Electric or any other concert or rave, if you take away the alcohol, the people who put on the event do not have the income enough to continue the event.
Now, when I spoke to city officials earlier this morning, they really wanted to make clear that there's going to be a lot less security at the Wet Electric Rave that will be happening this Saturday. There's also a lot on the table regarding the alcohol permits that may be in place, so we'll keep you updated with any new information. Reporting live in Huntington Beach, I'm Madison Wade, Chapman News.
If the alcohol permit does not pass, the rave organizers may lower the age limit to attract more people.
Sacramento lawmakers have passed a new energy bill that could cause many to see a boost in their SoCal Edison bills. Christina Hazanoral has more on what this new bill entails.
Yesterday, the California State Senate unanimously passed Assembly Bill 327, which mandates major overhauls in the way the state's utilities obtain and charge for energy. Current law stipulates that energy providers will have to obtain at least 33% of their energy from renewable sources by the end of 2020. AB 327 would give the Public Utilities Commission the ability to raise that requirement without legislative approval, as well as the ability to change the rate structure for many Californians.
The Commission would also have the ability to increase fees across the board by up to $10 a month, or $120 a year. Now, this increase could greatly affect customers of Southern California Edison, who may potentially be seeing another increase due to Edison's closure of the San Onofre nuclear power plant.
AB 327 was supported by many local utilities, including Southern California Edison, who stated in a press release, "The legislation will allow the California Public Utilities Commission to improve the current outdated electricity rate structure with one that has electricity rates that more accurately reflect the actual costs of electric service." The bill is expected to be signed by Governor Brown in the coming weeks. Christina Hosenoil in Santa Ana for Chapman News.
The California Public Utilities Commission will hold a hearing on October 1st to see if SoCal Edison customers will have to pay extra to get back Edison's losses on the San Onofre plant.
All throughout Orange County, memorials were held in remembrance of the events of September 11th. Natalie Aronson headed to Trabuco Canyon, where one memorial took her on a wild ride.
Hundreds of bikers drove off Wednesday afternoon from Cook's Corner, one of Southern California's most famous biker bars, to commemorate the lives lost on September 11th, just 12 years ago.
When I came back from New York, I just felt like I needed to do something at home that brought attention to the day and gave people a place to go to pay homage to September 11th and the victims and heroes of that day.
What started as a group of 5 firemen riding from engineer Gary Biggerstaff's house to Cook's Corner later evolved to become one of the largest rides in Southern California, reaching over 1,000 riders on the 10th anniversary in 2011.
There is no other place like Cook's Corner where people get together on motorcycles, so there's really no other place to have it. So we come here every year, and all these people just show up and they follow me back to Long Beach.
Going into its 11th consecutive year, the 9/11 Remembrance Ride brought all participants back to the fateful day, remembering where they were and who they are riding for.
I was in the VA hospital when 9/11 happened, working with about 30 men, and we saw the planes crash in the building, and they were all ready to re-up right then, and we thought there was a war going to go on, and they were all ready to go. They didn't care.
Hundreds of bikers are making their way towards Long Beach, where the memorial ride will end, commemorating the 12th anniversary of September 11th. At Cook's Corner in Trabuco Canyon, I'm Natalie Aronson, Chapman News.
This 9/11 Remembrance Ride mirrored the 2 Million Riders to D.C. rally at Fort Washington. Coming up after the break, Chapman senior Patrick Schoenberg is in studio to talk about a competition he'll be in that forces him to fly.
And Kelley Moody tells us what we can expect in the weather this weekend.
My full forecast ahead is just ahead. Stay with us. You're watching Chapman News.
Sweetheart, can I give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back. Joining us here in studio, we have Patrick Schoenberg, a participant in this year's Red Bull flugtag competition. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
How was your morning?
It's a pretty good morning. I woke up, after you have a long or rough night. I think, honestly, it's great because they keep dumping Red Bull on me, and I just woke up, drank a couple, and cruised over.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, what exactly is flugtag?
Basically, it's an excuse for poor engineers to try to fly. Basically, what it is it's a competition where 500 people applied, and 32 teams are competing in it. And what it is basically you have an opportunity to try to build a craft that can fly. You're going to fly off a 30-foot ramp, depending on where you're doing it. And you try to build a craft that's going to fly the farthest, or you try to have the most creative idea, or you try to have the best show beforehand.
Wow, a 30-foot ramp. So is that dangerous? I mean, that's a huge jump.
Yeah, it's dangerous for the pilot, not me. I'm not going to be flying the thing, but yeah, I mean, you're going into water at least. You're not going onto concrete. So basically, the object is to vault yourself as far away as possible once you know that thing is going down.
Okay, and we have to ask, how many Red Bulls can you drink in a minute?
Probably enough to give me an tachycardia. It's probably a lot. I wouldn't recommend it. We have so many.
All right, we won't chug any Red Bulls. All right, last question. How can students get involved in this event?
Yeah, because this sounds fun.
Yeah, it's actually going to be nutty. Students can get involved by, there's going to be a bus leaving from Chapman actually going up to the event. The doors will open at around 12, or the doors will open around like 10 in the morning. The crafts are going to start launching at 12, and then it's going to end at 3. But all the students can come up to the events in Long Beach, so it's not that far away. There's going to be like a student section. There's going to be 110,000 people there. So anybody who wants to get involved from Chapman, honestly, just get on the bus, come up, and come to the after party. I'd recommend that.
Well, thank you so much, Patrick, for joining us in here. We appreciate you coming down.
Definitely.
Who would have thought that scientific advancements could be so doggone cute? Kelley Moody investigates the story of a pup with an agenda.
The world's happiest medicine has 4 legs, plenty of fur, and can be seen wearing one of these vests. But training a guide dog isn't always a walk in the park.
Meet Matilda. She's 52 pounds of love and may need dental work. But as a sensory guide dog, she is Holly Hammond's cure for a unique and rare form of neurocardiogenic syncope.
She knows when my blood pressure drops minutes before I do, and I can actually avoid an entire fainting episode altogether.
Holly is a Chapman University alumna and an artist. She has struggled with sudden fainting spells her whole life, but Holly was able to train Matilda the English Bulldog to be a personalized psychic heart monitor in just 1 year.
She can actually physically hear my heart beating, and so when it slows down so dramatically, she knows what's going to happen.
Matilda's talents are incredibly rare for this disorder, but Holly explains this phenomenon as something more powerful than science.
I mean, if she didn't love me, if she didn't really care about me, she definitely wouldn't care about something like my blood pressure.
So what does Matilda represent for the future of the medical world?
Matilda symbolizes that there are other options. You don't need to give everyone tons of medication as the only way to survive. And for someone like me, where there's quite literally nothing they can do, it's hopeful.
This is Kelley Moody, Chapman News.
Holly Hammond is looking to one day publish her work with Matilda in a medical journal. Now, Jessica, tell me, how are we supposed to be in school and at work when it's so gorgeous outside?
I know. I mean, I think I may actually be able to catch up to your tan this week.
Yeah, well, while you work on that, let's have Kelley tell us what the rest of our week is going to look like.
Our weather is going to be awesome here in California, but let's take a look at our national forecast first. We can see up in the northeast area, our temperatures are starting to cool down a little bit, and then as we travel down and then through across our Southland area from Florida to Texas, we get a high of 100 over in Phoenix, and it starts to get a lot warmer. Let's take a look into California and our southwest temperatures. Here we go. In our southwest, we get really hot down towards here in that Phoenix area. Looking back towards Colorado, just an update there on our temperatures. We know that there have been a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of flooding that's going to persist for this weekend. But after that, we're going to finally get some warmer temperatures and things are going to clear up next week. We got 62 in San Jose, 71 in Los Angeles, 67 in San Diego. And let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. We've got some highs in the 80s and 90s and some lows down in the 60s. Looks like it's going to be partly cloudy on Friday and Sunday, but our overall forecast looks like it's going to be pretty sunny. Perfect time to go to the beach. Let's take a look at our surf report. We've got the Surfline Orange County forecast. The southwest swell is continuing through the week, which will give us some waves between 3 to 5 feet with a light sea breeze. That's going to give us some temperatures in the water about 60 degrees. So, you know, put on the sweatsuits, get out on those boards, and head to San Onofre, where the Hurley Pro will be this weekend. Kelly Slater will be there. But if the beach isn't quite your place, check out Disneyland. It's going to be open until 1 a.m. tonight, and California Adventures will be open until 10 p.m. They have revamped the park with all their Halloween decor. The classic Disney villains are out. I know I'm going to be there. How about you guys back in studio?
Yeah, I love Disneyland during the holidays. It's so much fun.
I know. Okay, just ahead, after the break, it's the Best Campus Sports Show with Hannah Brown. She's here now with a preview.
Coming up in sports, USA men's soccer takes on Mexico in a must-win game. We have the highlights. Plus, we go all access inside women's volleyball to preview their upcoming season. That's next on the Best Campus Sports Show.
Nice. No! Come on! Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
Welcome back to Chapman News. So, Jessica, did you enjoy that soccer game last night?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was great when that guy kicked that ball into the hoop.
No. I think my co-anchor is a little confused. Can you help us out?
Yeah, ladies, I'll try to clear things up here. Jessica, take some notes. We have a really exciting week for Chapman Sports as a few teams got their season underway. Men's soccer had a busy week playing 3 games in 5 days where they went 2-1. The Panthers were on fire from the field as they outscored opponents 9-4, highlighted by 5-1 victory over visiting Caltech. Sophomore Kareem Gill led the team with 2 goals, and the Panthers never looked back. Moving to the hardwood, where a different kind of domination is taking place, our own Alec Bachner takes it inside Chapman's volleyball.
After a strong 2012 campaign, the Chapman volleyball team is back in action, looking to take down the competition one spike at a time. The Panthers currently have a 5-3 record after their most recent tournament at Cal Lutheran University. Team captain Karina Strovsky gave us her thoughts about the team's performance.
Oh, we played great. Everything, we were all just in our spots, consistent. We played Chapman volleyball.
With 20 games remaining in their schedule, Chapman aims on improving from a 24-7 record and a second-place SCIAC finish from a year ago.
Well, our conference is stronger. Each year it's stronger and stronger, so our goal is to reach a conference tournament and then hopefully make it on from there.
Our number one goal is to win the SCIAC championship and just play the best we can every game.
The team's practices are setting them up for success. They believe their talent and depth will dig out the SCIAC championship.
I think we're very athletic. I think if they would just play and not think about things, we'd end up on the upper end.
We're going to win this year. We got second last year in SCAC, and we're going to win this year, so everyone should come support.
The Panthers were almost unbeatable last year on their home floor as they ended the season with a 9-1 record at home. They plan to continue their dominance when they play their first home game of the season against Claremont Mudscripts on September 20th. From Harold Hunt Sports Center, I'm Alec Bachner, Chapman News.
Entering the season, the Panthers were ranked 18th in the nation, the first time since 1995 that they are the top 25 in Division III. And here's the rest of your week ahead in Chapman sports. Men's soccer travels to Colorado College today to take on Tigers at 12:30. Women's soccer visits Hardin-Simmons tomorrow at 10 a.m. for a morning game. And it's back to men's soccer where they take on Dallas at Colorado College tomorrow at noon. And finally, men's football kicks off the season tomorrow when they travel to Puget Sound for their first game of the season at 1 p.m. For a complete schedule, you can visit chapmanathletics.com. USA Soccer versus Mexico in the heated World Cup qualifier. If the U.S. wins, they are guaranteed a spot in the upcoming World Cup. The U.S. pushed the tempo all through the game right before the half, and they gave a beautiful header to Eddie Johnson for the goal. But the Yanks didn't let up, and in the 77th minute, an amazing cross finds its way to the boot of none other than striker Landon Donovan. Victory for the USA as they clinch their journey to Brazil. That's it for this week, guys, but there's a big fight tomorrow. Do you think Mayweather is going to stay undefeated?
I don't know, but Vegas sounds pretty good right now.
Girl, those pool parties. All right, let's take it over to Diane, who has some pretty magical entertainment news for us.
Fear not, Potter fans. The world of Harry Potter may not be over. We'll explain all that and more on Chapman News.
Sweetheart, can I give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back. Now, we know you just missed our lovely faces, but we're going to toss it over to another lovely lady with some entertainment news.
Diane, I heard that the Harry Potter series isn't quite over yet. Is there going to be another book?
Well, Jessie, I can't promise another book, but there's definitely going to be a new Potter movie in store. Celebrity author J.K. Rowling has signed a deal with Warner Brothers, giving them the rights to create a new wizardry film based off of the hit Harry Potter series. The deal also includes a television miniseries and additional theme park rides to Universal theme parks. The new movie will be based off of Harry Potter's schoolbook, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and will be the first release in an entire movie series. Rowling says the movie will neither be a prequel or a sequel to the saga, but will be based off of Potter's magical universe. With school back in session, Chapman events are in full swing. Reporter Sunny Laser ventured around Chapman to hear about this year's fall concert.
raised the bar and
Dylan Francis is going on a world tour all over America.
And now he's coming to Chapman. The University Program Board raised the bar and booked Dylan Francis and the Ying Yang Twins for the 2013 fall concert.
What we really try to do this year is have 2 different genres of music so it appeals to more people.
Tickets are already sold out, improving sales from last year's concert by over 1,500 tickets.
In terms of ticket sale volume, the largest event that Chapman has ever had.
With ticket sales through the roof, we went around Chapman campus to hear what students think about this year's acts.
I think everyone's really excited. I've been talking to a lot of people who are really into EDM and go to a lot of festivals.
All throughout middle school, I listened to the Ying Yang Twins. I looked up Dylan Francis, and he is ridiculous.
I'm so excited. Yeah, gonna relive like my middle school dance days.
And to top off the evening, there may be a little surprise for Chapman students.
They tweeted at each other saying that they should collaborate on a song after we announced that they would be performing together. It's gonna be really fun, it's gonna be packed, and I think people are gonna have a great time.
Sunny Laser, Chapman News.
The concert kicks off at 8 p.m. tonight in the Grove of Anaheim. If you want to take a bus, pickup starts by the dorms at 6:45. Join Chapman Radio after the newscast for their weekly beach party at the Chapman Beach Club. DJs will be spinning, and Chapman Find Out will be serving up some free barbecue burgers by the pool. Radio Weekend ends with a sold-out fall concert co-hosted by UPB. The Ying Yang Twins and Dylan Francis will be taking over the Grove. I Gotta Get It Poppin' with the Twins on my radio show earlier this week. The Twins say we will hear most of their throwback hits, as well as some singles from their upcoming album.
We've been out, so we gotta really give the people what they've been missing. You're gonna hear everything. One thing about us is we made the song. The features didn't make us. So, of course, you're gonna hear everything.
I can't wait to get low and shake it like a salt shaker. Chapman News will have more on the concert next week. Back to you guys at the desk.
We're already shaking it like a salt shaker. Now make sure you log on to our website, chapmannews.tv, to see all of our episodes, our wonderful Chapman Newsies bios, and top headlines.
Yes, and make sure you also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards, at Chapman News, and YouTube at youtube.com/Chapman News.
Well, Orange, it's been real. Have a sunny weekend.
And don't forget to shake it like a salt shaker.